Welcome, I'm the Kaiju no Kami, and tonight is the night we finish the Japanese Godzilla saga with Godzilla Final Wars. 2004 marked the Big G's 50th anniversary, and with 27 movies under his tail, it was time to end the franchise with a bang. Toho hired Japan's hottest action director at the time, Ryuhei Kitamura, to direct this film that was going to be of epic proportions. Kitamura's job was to give us an updated version of Destroy All Monsters, and that is exactly what he did. This movie was so big, so massive, and featured so many monsters shoved into it that some of them were reduced to mere seconds of screen time. But he did so with style. It was Toho's highest budgeted Godzilla movie of all time, and thus became one of the biggest flops they'd ever experienced. Does Final Wars deserve to be the bomb that it was? Let's find out. Final Wars kicks off the military battling Godzilla in the Arctic with their submersible ship, the Gotengo. An earthquake erupts and the crew of the Gotengo is able to trap Godzilla in ice. We are then given a load of exposition about an Earth Defense Force being formed to battle various monsters who show up around the world. Also, the EDF has a full squad of humans with super abilities known as mutants.
The truth is that mutants are very real. Now, Shinron, come forth!
Manda battles the Gotengo, and the newest crew is introduced, led by Douglas Gordon, played by prize fighter Don Fry, and Masahiro Matsuoka portrays one of his top soldiers, Shinichi Ozaki. They freeze Manda and drill him into dust. The movie then cuts to a sparring match between Ozaki and another mutant soldier, Katsunori Kazuma. If you are wondering why he looks familiar, it is because he is King Kosugi, son to American ninja Sho Kosugi. He also played Jiraiya, also known as Ninja Black, in Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger. After the Matrix-styled battle, Ozaki is assigned to escort a biologist named Miyuki Otanashi, played by Rei Kikukawa, to a lab where a recently discovered mummified monster is being studied. There, they meet with Professor Jinguji, and the trio find themselves transported to a cave where Mothra's fairies tell them about the monster known as Gigan.
12000年前、ガイガンがやってきて破壊の限りを尽くしました。モスラはそれを食い止めようと戦ったのです。壁画にはそう記されています。
Ah, cave paintings. The prehistoric version of the internet. And like the internet, if it was depicted on the wall, it must be true. They are brought back to the lab with a strange amulet the fairies say will protect them. Miyuki's sister, Anna, is a newscaster and is currently interviewing the EDF Secretary General, Naotoro Daigo. I'm also sure you have noticed that there are a few returning Godzilla actors here. Daigo is played by the legendary Akira Takarada. Kenji Sahara is Professor Jinguji, and Kumi Mizuno returns as the EDF's commander Akiko Namakawa. Hey wait! Namakawa was the name of her character in Invasion of Astro Monster. Coincidence? Oh, and Maki Mizuno plays Anna. Daigo's plane is blown up by Rodan on its way to New York City.
Yo, hey man, yo, don't be touching my car! Keep your hands off! Yo, you listening?
Can't you read the sign?
Come on, man, I ought to be parking for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, 5 seconds, doesn't freaking matter, because I'm gonna bust you up.
Whoa, wait. Really? Really, movie? That is not how people in New York City actually talk.
Yo, what's up?
Oh, come on, put the gun down.
No, see, too late for that. This here and a hand cannon. I'll blow your ass all the way back to Jersey. Oh, shit!
You shut the hell up! I'll shoot him first, then I'll finish you!
Hey, boys! We better get out of here.
What is up with that dude's clothes?
My name is a pimp named Slickback.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So Jason takes Manhattan, Rodan flies by, knocking the hats off of the cop and Slickback.
No, it's a pimp named Slickback, like a Tribe Called Quest. You say the whole thing. A pimp named Slickback.
A pimp named Slickback, and we get to hear some really wacky noises. At the same time, Anguirus is balling in Shanghai, King Sasara in Okinawa, Kamacuras is bugging the people of Paris, Zilla stopped off for some lunch in Sydney, and Kumonga is somewhere in Arizona. Oh yeah, and then we see a kid throwing a turtle toy of his into the fire. Why? Come on, what kind of kid would just intentionally destroy his toy? There was the Optimus Prime, and Daredevil, and Superman, and Lex Luthor, and Riddler, and the other robot. And there was also... Never mind. On to the movie. The EDF is dispatched all over the world to take care of these menaces. We get to watch Ninja Black say this after they beat Ebera.
Sorry, I'm a vegetarian.
Wow. They actually got him to say that? Never mind. It's just pointless to respond. All the monsters start disappearing, but not before we get treated to a breaking sound from Anguirus. Kitamura? Were you making a Godzilla movie? Or something for Hanna-Barbera? It is discovered that the monsters are being collected by a series of UFOs and the mothership hovers above the EDF's headquarters. This scene looks awfully familiar. Out of it comes Daigo, who says that he was rescued by them and spreads a message of peace to the world about the aliens, known as the X-Agents. They have come to save the Earth from an oncoming planet known as Gorath, and the United Space Nations are formed. Nearly everyone is suddenly in love with the X-Agents. X? X. Like this X? Ozaki, Miyuki, and Anna are suspicious about the whole ordeal, and thanks to an assault on Daigo, they are able to study his blood and come to realize he is not human. Jinguji also figures out that Gorath is not an actual planet, and Ozaki frees Gordon from the brig because they are unsure as to what commanders have not had their bodies snatched.
They're here already! You're next!
Anna interviews Daigo on her show, and the truth about the X-Agents is revealed. The commander's assassinated on TV as well by his second-in-command, Agent Morpheus Smith, who then declares an ultimatum for the Earth: surrender or die. Agent Morpheus Smith uses the mutant gene to turn the mutants on everyone except for Ozaki, who seems to be immune to it. Ozaki tries to fight Agent Morpheus Smith, but his attacks are futile as he is no match for his black leather. Ninja Black pursues Gordon and gang as they try to escape, and we get another Matrix-like battle with the duo, but this time they are...
The motorcycles!
Ozaki wins in the end and takes Ninja Black back to their base. Morpheus Smith wakes Gigan up and releases all of the other monsters to destroy the world while smaller ships are launched from the mothership. Gordon and the others head out to Antarctica in the Gotengo to free Godzilla. They do so, and the attacking Gigan is destroyed by Godzilla with ease. The Gotengo leads Godzilla across the world to take out the other monsters. He starts in Australia, where he meets with Zilla. You fool! You brought Zilla to fight Godzilla! Let's see what his power level is! No way! It can't be! It's under 9! Oh, wait a minute. He's already dead. Never mind. Next is Kamonga and his string of attacks. Were they even trying to make that look like webbing? He then impales Kamacuras with ease. Godzilla faces off against his former allies and they start to play a game of soccer. Poor Godzilla. You should have had an evil goalie on your side, then they wouldn't have scored. Ships are sent out to destroy the Gotengo and Ninja Black sacrifices himself Independence Day style to take out the enemy shields. Gordon crashes the Gotengo into the ship and the X-Agents teleport in, conveniently killing everyone but our main characters, who they take prisoner. Hey, look at that! Hedorah is in this movie. Good for him. Monster X arrives on Earth and with the help of an upgraded Gigan, they battle Godzilla. Mothra flies in to help Godzilla fight the duel. Agent Morpheus Smith temporarily takes control of Ozaki, but the amulet the fairies gave him frees him while Gigan and Mothra continue their clash. Gigan gets really cocky when he thinks he has beaten Mothra.
Watch out, Frieza! Stay down!
No, it can't be!
Ozaki is now able to stop bullets. And he fights Agent Morpheus Smith, whose hair just got all spiky between cuts. Huh? Oh, and he gets his butt whooped.
Of course!
Gordon takes out the generals and they all return to the Gotengo with the real EDF commanders. Ozaki goes Super Saiyan Neo. After a really long and drawn-out sequence of twirling,
Twirling, twirling, twirling towards freedom.
Ozaki defeats Smith. He gets the Gotengo just before the mothership explodes and they watch Monster X transform into Kaiser Ghidorah and the final battle begins. At first, Godzilla is losing, but with the help of the Gotengo, Godzilla's power level is boosted and Ghidorah is destroyed in a pretty impressive manner. Godzilla shoots down the Gotengo, but a grown-up Minya... Oh yeah, I forgot. Minya is in this movie. I guess we should cover what led to this turn of events with him, because he is such an important part of the story. Everyone pulls out their weapons and... oh my god! I just can't finish this line. I mean, look at it. Do they really think they are going to be able to take out Godzilla with a sword, a hunting rifle, and some laser pistols? Please move out of the way, Minya. I want to see how this ends. Godzilla turns away, probably in disgust, because I think the sound mixer put an NES track here by mistake, and Minya follows him. Oh, and Anna just happens to be there so that Gordon could get a slice of pie. Godzilla roars as the movie's credits begin to roll. That was Godzilla Final Wars. Actually, I can't bring myself to hate this movie. It is a terrible Godzilla movie. Godzilla doesn't return until well after an hour's worth of crap, and when he does, he just flies through all of his opponents with ease. Kitamura said he wanted it done this way to show how powerful Monster Godzilla really is, and I get that, but it doesn't make him an exciting one to watch. However, as an action movie, especially as a Kitamura-styled action movie, this is a fun movie to watch. It holds all of Kitamura's tropes like stupid cartoon noises, slow motion drawn out fight scenes, great music that fits with the fights, and has that cinematic feel that Kitamura brings to his films. However, he was not suited for a Godzilla movie. The human action scenes just drag on for far too long, and there are way too many of them. There's no reason this movie needed to be over 2 hours, as half an hour could have easily been shaved off, if not more. The plot is so ham-fisted that it is laughable when you even try to think about it. None of it makes any lick of sense, and everything revolving around the Exagians and the mutant with their DNA strands called M-base is just so stupid. It was only put there as a gimmick to allow Agent Morpheus Smith to take control of the mutants to give the hero some opposition. However, this is not even the worst aspects of the movie. Everything it does feels ripped off of another movie that did it better. Maybe this was intentional, and this was Kitamura's way of paying homage to the Heisei era of Godzilla, but it is most unsettling because you could be watching one of those better movies instead. The amount of monsters being crammed into this thing is annoying because some of them, such as Hedorah, were utterly pointless. Hell, we could have done without the bike battle between Ozaki and Kazuma and had more screen time given to him. On the other hand, it's not like Destroy All Monsters didn't play this same card back in '68 with Varan. Aside from Gordon, none of the characters are all that entertaining to watch, and even Gordon is pretty much one-dimensional. What works for him is Don Frye's personality, as the man clearly knows he is in a bad movie, so he is acting like it while nearly everyone else is trying to be super serious. It does not matter if it is his one-liners or his facial expressions. The man just oozes awesome sauce all over the screen. Just look at the scene where he thinks Ozaki has amassed a harem with Miyuki and Anna.
Ozaki? Nice work.
何勘違いしてるんです大佐
Speaking of Miyuki and Anna, they are just there for fan service, and Miyuki's role as a biologist is about as believable as Denise Richards playing a nuclear physicist. Anna at least has a personality, while Miyuki is more like duh in most of her scenes. Her acting is quite bad, and she is taking things way too seriously. While it is awesome to see Kane Kosugi in a Godzilla movie, it is a shame it had to be this one. I guess it allowed him to show off his martial arts skills, but how much of that was actually him and not wires? As a character though, he too is rather pointless. It seems like he has something against Ozaki, but it is never quite clear what it is exactly. Also, how is it that he was the only one to regain control of his own mind just by being knocked out? Ozaki is as flat as a sheet of paper. He has no personality, and like Miyuki, he is being really serious in his role. Even Agent Morpheus Smith's actor, Kazuki Kitamura, knows he shouldn't be taking this movie seriously, so he doesn't. Kitamura looks to be having almost as much fun with his role as Don Fry is, especially when he gets to jump around like a 2-year-old. It's a shame that he goes by the entire movie nameless and has to be part of that stupid ex-agent getup, because he would have made a far more interesting protagonist than Ozaki. The only thing the ex-agents in this movie share in common with those in Invasion of Astro Monster is the name. Everything else is not even remotely close to being accurate. If they were meant to be a homage to those aliens, then Kitamura failed. The effects work is a mix between rushed half-assed sets and bad CGI. The wire work looks fine, but the miniatures look generic and insipid. It doesn't help that the majority of them are not on screen enough to even have a chance to admire them. Finally, there are a ton of monster suits, so I'm just going to break most of them down in 1 or 2 sentences. Mothra is the same puppet as Tokyo SOS, but you wouldn't know it due to how desaturated the color is in this movie. God, it looks like something DC would have made. This is the first time King Caesar has been seen in 30 years, and he looks ugly. Rodan is an improvement over the Heisei design, still far from perfect. And Garrus is okay, but the idea of his ball attack is ingenious. Ebra, Kamakuris, and Kumonga look cool. The CGI Zilla is ugly. Manda looks like a standard Asian dragon, so no complaints there. It is a shame too, though, that he wasn't on screen for very long. Minyu was kind of generic. He could have just been a suit stolen out of the 60s because he didn't look all that different. Hedera looks cool, but since we never actually saw him in action, it's kind of moot. Gigan is by far the best redesign in the movie. Like some of the others, he hasn't been seen in 30 years and he looks great. He looks like a cyborg monster, and the upgraded form he gets in the latter half of the movie is unique. It is too bad he was an idiot and died in such a moronic way. In fact, he was pretty weak overall because he died twice and with ease. Why does Gigan keep getting featured in movies that are subpar? Monsters X's design is an interesting one. The colors on him are well done, and the heads on his shoulders make him stand out. It is just a shame that he looks like a man in a suit more than a monster though. The Kaiser Ghidorah form was a mixed bag too. He looked great and big the way a final boss should be, but he was way too big for the suit actors and puppeteers to really do much with him. The Godzilla suit is by far the worst of the Millennium Saga. He looks anorexic in some angles, and the head just looks weird, especially his snout. Sometimes his face looks more like a rat's than Godzilla's. The biggest issue are the spines. They are just way too far apart from one another, and it looks off. The idea behind a slimmer Godzilla sounds great on paper, but it clearly does not work in action. Finally, the most polarizing aspect of Final Wars is its soundtrack. What the hell? Keith Emerson was hired to score the movie, making him the first non-Japanese person to score a Japanese Godzilla movie, and he had no idea what he was doing. The battle music sounds fine, particularly for the monsters, and the Godzilla theme itself is pretty good, but the rest of the music is horrible. It sounds like something found in an old video game or a long-lost MIDI file. It is painful to the ears, specifically the song played during the end credits. You might as well have just had someone scratching their nails against the chalkboard here. What was Toho thinking? One cool thing the music does do, though, is the homages to the old themes. Hearing Masato's Mechagodzilla score in the radio the guys in Antarctica were listening to was really good. Even the use of the old Minya theme was well done. Emerson, you better never score a Godzilla movie again. In the end, Godzilla Final Wars is a vast disappointment. We were expecting so much more, and Toho was promising so much more than what we actually got. We got a really enjoyable, fun action movie. But we got a really crappy Godzilla movie. Well, I need to go for one moment so I can exterminate these aliens. Give me one moment. Now I'm ready to take on this alien menace. Mess with my reviews, will you? That's what I thought. Well, that brings the Japanese series of Godzilla movies to a close for now. I shall return in the future. Until then, bye.